What happens when a plane vanishes without a trace, leaving behind only unanswered questions and broken hearts? Air travel is one of the safest modes of transportation, yet some flights disappear under circumstances so baffling they defy explanation. From the depths of the ocean to remote mountain peaks, these mysterious vanishings have captivated investigators and haunted families for decades. In today's video, we'll uncover the stories behind the top 5 mysterious plane disappearances. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on fascinating mysteries like these. Let's take to the skies and explore these eerie cases together. 5. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 disappeared on March 8, 2014, while flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people aboard. The Boeing 777-200ER took off at 12:42 a.m. local time and maintained normal communication until 1:19 a.m. when the aircraft sent its final voice transmission. Good night, Malaysian 370. At 1:22 a.m., it vanished from air traffic control radar, but was tracked for an additional hour by military radar, revealing an unexpected turn westward over the Malay Peninsula and into the Andaman Sea. Investigators determined that the plane's communication systems, including its transponder and ACARS, were manually disabled, fueling theories of deliberate action. Satellite data later showed the aircraft likely flew for up to 7 hours before crashing into the southern Indian Ocean, far off its intended route. Despite one of the most expensive search operations in history, only fragments of debris have been found, including a wing flaperon on Reunion Island in 2015. Theories range from mechanical failure and pilot suicide to hijacking and electronic sabotage. The official report acknowledged the lack of definitive evidence, leaving MH370's disappearance one of the most perplexing and haunting mysteries in modern aviation history. 4. Thai Airways Flight 311. Almost 48 hours after Thai Airways Flight 311 vanished over the Himalayas, investigators searching near Kathmandu, Nepal, received a critical lead. Local villagers report finding aircraft debris north of the city. The reported crash site is far from the area being searched. No one had expected the aircraft to be so far off course. North of Kathmandu, towering Himalayan peaks reach altitudes of 20,000 feet. Most aircraft approach Tribhuvan Airport from the south, where the mountains are closer to 8,000 feet. The northern route, with its dangerous terrain, is rarely used. Later that day, search crews confirmed the grim discovery. The remains of Thai Airways Flight 311 were found 27 miles north of Kathmandu. The plane had crashed into a steep rock face 11,000 feet above sea level. All 113 passengers and crew members aboard were lost. The crash site presents unique challenges for investigators. The rugged terrain makes helicopter landings impossible. The investigation team must hike 3,000 feet from their base camp to reach the wreckage, a treacherous 5-hour climb. Among the team is Canadian investigator David Rohrer, who recalls the devastating impact. The level of destruction was enormous. You couldn't even tell it was an Airbus A310, let alone that it had 2 engines. The first question facing investigators is how the plane ended up north of the airport. The Airbus should never have been in that area. Back in Kathmandu, wreckage recovered by Sherpas and the Nepalese army is transported to a hangar for analysis. While sorting through the debris, an unusual request from a victim's family member leads to an incredible discovery. A circuit board retrieved from the wreckage reveals the internal mechanism of the flight data recorder FDR, which had been missing. This breakthrough provides investigators with critical information on the aircraft's speed, altitude, and direction, key evidence to unravel the mystery of how Flight 311, destined for a southern approach, tragically crashed in the north. 3. United Airlines Flight 718. At Los Angeles International Airport, United Airlines Flight 718 prepares to depart for Chicago. At 9:04 a.m., the DC-7 lifts off and follows an assigned corridor out of Los Angeles airspace. Once clear, Captain Shirley is free to navigate to Chicago, reporting progress at designated waypoints. 54 minutes into the flight, the crew passes the second waypoint and sets course for the Painted Desert Line. Cruising at 21,000 feet, they encounter thunderclouds. Adjusting their path, they report smooth skies. Suddenly, something goes wrong. Passengers are shocked as the aircraft shakes violently. Calls from dispatch go unanswered. At 10:51, United Airlines dispatch informs air traffic controllers in Salt Lake City that Flight 718 is overdue. Simultaneously, TWA reports no response from Flight 2, also heading through the Painted Desert Line. Search efforts begin immediately. The following morning, the worst fears are confirmed. Wreckage from both planes is spotted in the Grand Canyon. United 718 lies on a rocky ledge 688 feet up the canyon wall, while TWA's remains are a mile away on the canyon floor. Rescuers face immense challenges reaching the crash sites, but their grim conclusion is inescapable. Everyone aboard both flights has perished. Investigators from the Civil Aeronautics Board begin piecing together what caused this mid-air collision, one of the deadliest aviation disasters in US history. 2. Air France Flight 447. On May 31st, 2009, Air France Flight 447 departed Rio de Janeiro for Paris. The Airbus A330 is piloted by 58-year-old Captain Marc Dubois, one of Air France's most experienced captains, along with First Officer Pierre Bana and relief pilot David Robert. Autopilot maintains the plane's altitude at 35,000 feet as the crew communicates with Brazilian air traffic control. Every 10 minutes, the aircraft's systems transmit data, including maintenance updates, to Air France headquarters. 3 hours into the flight, the crew reports reaching a waypoint off Brazil's coast and transitions into a radar dead zone over the mid-Atlantic. By 1:49 a.m., the plane disappears from Brazilian radar. 2 hours later, Senegalese controllers attempted to contact Flight 447 but received no response. Air France headquarters tries to locate the flight, but all attempts fail. When the plane fails to reach French airspace, it's declared missing. Families at Charles de Gaulle Airport are notified the A330 has likely crashed. The aircraft's disappearance sparks global shock. With no distress calls and only 24 automated maintenance messages received before the crash, the cause is a mystery. Days later, the wreckage is found floating in the Atlantic, confirming the tragic loss of 228 lives. 1. AirAsia Flight 8501. AirAsia Flight 8501 cruises high above the Java Sea on December 28, 2014. The Airbus A320 is commanded by Captain Irianto, a highly experienced pilot alongside First Officer Remy Emmanuel Plaisel. 22 minutes into the flight, the pilots detect severe weather ahead. The captain decides to request clearance to ascend above the storm. Before they can contact air traffic control, the flight computer reports a fault. The plane's sophisticated ECAM system guides the crew through troubleshooting steps. The plane begins rolling sharply to the left. The pilots struggle to regain control, but the aircraft becomes increasingly erratic. Despite their efforts to level off, the Airbus climbs uncontrollably, then suddenly plummets. The crew attempts to stabilize the descent, but their commands seem ineffective. The aircraft spirals downwards, ultimately crashing into the Java Sea 43 minutes after takeoff. Tragically, all 162 passengers and crew aboard perish. Post-crash investigations reveal that a combination of mechanical failure and pilot response contributed to the disaster, shedding light on the challenges of human-computer interaction in aviation emergencies. The stories of these mysterious plane disappearances remind us of the fragility of human life and the limits of modern technology. Despite advancements in aviation and communication, some questions remain unanswered, leaving families and experts in search of closure. From the Grand Canyon tragedy to the deep-sea mysteries of Flight 447, these incidents continue to haunt history and spark investigations. What makes these disappearances even more chilling is the reminder that some secrets may forever remain hidden. Thanks for watching our countdown of the top 5 most mysterious plane disappearances. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Let us know in the comments if you have any thoughts or theories about these cases. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.